So I was talking with a friend and he was trying to code something and he comes to me and he asks me, he says, "Hey man, I'm stuck on this." And I was looking and he was stuck in tutorial hell. He had tutorials open, he had AI open, right? But he was using AI to get through with this code. I had another friend, he comes to me and he says, "Hey man, I've got this Python script. Can you help me with it?" He had the AI rated as well. Well, it appears that programmers are actually being replaced by AI now in some instances, which is really interesting. We've evolved quite a bit as programmers, and now they're getting stuck in this form of AI tutorial hell. And instead of trying to escape it, they're leaning into it. And not only is that the thing, but they're not leaning into it because the project is due soon, but they can't be bothered to learn it. And I'll admit, I'm not perfect. And I have used AI once or twice to replace a small knowledge gap, but these other cases, they're different, believe me. And we're reaching this new age of programmers, which I would like to call the AI programmers. And I said once the AI can be used as a great tool in a previous episode. Don't get me wrong. However, I've used it since for many great things, and it's worked amazing. I had a client send me photos for a website and they were not full photos. So I used the AI image generation and I got them to the right size. And then I used some other tools to make the images look kind of natural because let's be real, the AI, it's not always the greatest at photo manipulation. However, in the case where you see people using AI to do an entire photo, well, it's just flat out scary. Take a look for yourself. Horrifying monsters it creates, actually. And with Sora, I'll admit, it is getting better, but still, it's not perfect and it's not ready for us to use quite yet. And I even heard that Sora's not going to go public. Elon Musk is even suing OpenAI because now they're turning into like a for-profit type company and they're trying to get around their whole legal infrastructure anyways. But you can see what happens when you replace your skills with AI. It's just not going to work all that well. It's not going to be as good as if you were to create it yourself, or if you got with a team, or if you used AI as like an assistant rather instead using it as a tool like it should be. And I believe that machines should be there to serve us and that we shouldn't be there to serve them. But it would appear that most of society wants to go in some other direction. I mean, do you really blame them? It's just so convenient to let it take over. Call me a conspiracy theorist, right? But I think that we're gonna see the next wave of programmers coming in. They're not gonna be able to do anything on their own, and it's a crying shame. So for all of you programmers back at home, I want you to go out there and instead of spending your money on OpenAI this month, I encourage you, go get a subscription to Pluralsight or something like that and try to level up your skills as a programmer. Or alternatively, let's just use AI to learn. Let's just use it for some clarification or guidance, just like how you would use Google, right? Or a search engine. But absolutely do not have it do it for you, at least for a while. We're standing on one of the greatest opportunities, and yet people keep wondering how we can use it. To use it, we've always done as programmers, we should just use it to automate and simplify. It's the reason that you're paid to do what you do is to make someone else's life better. And eventually, I guarantee you that they're going to replace programmers with AI programmers just like this, where they're going and they're prompt engineering. Learn to use it as a tool, not your brain, and life will be gravy. Once you learn how to become an AI master rather than an AI slave, it'll all be fine. You need to learn how to not be servant to your machine. I believe that a lot of people are, and so to have your machine work for you is such a big deal. You need to be able to make the machine say beep and pop when you want it to say beep and bop. It's not rocket science, people. But hey, I'm just another random programmer complaining about AI on the internet. So if you want to see more stuff about like how we can use AI in a more acceptable manner, I would be more than happy to point out a couple of those. But I absolutely am not going to create any videos that are showing how to have AI write the entire program for you. I'm just going to declare that now. Yes, there might be a degree of AI in future videos on like the YouTube channel, The Coffee Engineer. If you're listening on Spotify or anything like that, then it's The Coffee Engineer on YouTube. It's a short episode today, but let's go get some coffee.